Leo, well, let's have a look at the basis of your connection with this person. Okay, for Leo, the basis of your connection with this person is inner voice. This is powerful, okay? This is all about inner guidance, enlightenment, and self-direction. If this is the basis of your connection with this person, inner voice is a very powerful connection. There's something very valuable that you will need to take from this connection here, Leo. And it's something that you'll learn about yourself. You might find that you're very intuitive around this person, or you might be intuitively guided to them, okay? Inner voice is the number 2 and 8, which makes 10. Now 10 makes 1 and is the usher in of complete new beginnings here. You can see what almost looks like a rainbow, the crown, the wind, okay, beneath the wings here. This is very powerful, but this is all messengers of self-love, self-direction, self-purpose, empowerment, okay, guide, feeling guided in a situation. So this is it's a very beautiful connection, but I don't think it's just you that's going to be feeling it, Leo. I think they will be feeling the same thing as well. And I mentioned the fact that it's a first, okay? The number 1 is coming in very strongly. It's really going to set some sort of precedence in your relationships, or it's really going to create some sort of new feelings, new sort of connection here. I definitely feel like this is a soulmate connection coming in between you and this person, because as much as you have inner voice, you also have a higher realm that's guiding you to them in the form of the universe, the angels, the gods. So I love the fact that you're being divinely guided by a higher power, but also within yourself. Okay, there's lessons to be learnt here. There's going to be a lot of new judgment calls that are going to be required, new sacrifices and new compromises that will be required in this connection. Let's have a look at the strengths of your relationship should you enter into one. Okay, the strengths, temperance, very beautiful strength. And then you have the Knight of Cups. Okay, let's start off with the temperance. This is Sagittarius energy, and this is truth. It's honesty. It's being forthright, being outcoming with something here. But it's also about moderation and balance. And what I love is that there's an image captured with the yin and yang energy here, and this says that the two of you will complement each other in a very powerful way. Coming back to that soulmate energy here. This can also be symbolic of honesty, truthfulness, and balance. Okay, the two of you will have a very well balanced connection. The two of you will understand what it takes to be honest, what it takes to be yourself, and what it takes to bring this relationship into success. But I see the both of you putting in equal effort into this connection, which shows that the two of you will feel you'll be on the same level here, is essentially what I want to say. Your feelings, your love, your emotion will be that mirroring each other, which will potentially be a very beautiful strength in this connection with one another. But there's also something about moderation, okay? Now this could be in the pacing of your relationship. You'll take moderate steps towards the development of your relationship, maybe. Or everything will be in moderation, you know, how often you express your love for each other, how often you're perhaps intimate, Leo, how often you perhaps try to give the other constructive criticism. It's all in a very balanced, harmonious way. So that's very, very powerful. You also have the Knight of Cups. I see this as him being swept up in this river, in this ocean of emotion, I should say. And he's so determined to get to that golden cup because he sees it as his golden chalice. Now, this is all about dependence. If this is a strength in your relationship, I sense it to be that you're with each other. To me, it's the ride or die card. So it's the partner that's going to stay with you through thick or thin. And if this is a strength in your relationship, it's the fact that A, you'll be so swept up in love and the way you'll feel towards each other, that love will carry you through difficult times. I also see the Knight of Cups as someone very dependable, who has a lot of integrity, who understands the value of a connection here. So you have someone that really will appreciate the connection that you have and the love that you'll have for each other, but also the support. It's someone that will be highly swept up in these emotions. Now, I think this is you, Leo, but I also think this is this other person. There's a lot of blues here. A lot of blues in these cards. The two of you will be feeling something very real and very raw. But it's about pursuing something, okay? Pursuing the golden sun, the golden chalice, because you know it's worth it. So this is a lot of determination coming from someone. Not only emotional and moral support, but if this is a strength in your relationship, it's that you'll be swept up in it together, that you'll understand how rare it is to find compatibility and a connection, that the one that you will have, that you'll want to allow it, you'll want to pursue it as much as you can. This is very beautiful. Let's have a look at the other side of the spectrum here, Leo, and explore the weaknesses, okay, the places where you might struggle in this relationship. Okay, you've got the Lovers. Now, this is Gemini energy and has come up twice, okay? Geminis are notorious flirts. I'm not sure if one of you will have a wandering eye, or a previous soulmate or twin flame relationship might come into the way, and it might be a Gemini ex. Might be yours, it might be this person. It might have been an ex-spouse, an ex-lover, an ex-partner, someone they're still emotionally attached to. This person could prove to be a little bit difficult or could pose problems for the two of you. Now, I say that because the Lovers were once very beautifully connected. So you might be struggling because there's someone you met during the time of Gemini, or someone that was under the sign of a Gemini, or you had a very beautiful connection with this person, perhaps once upon a time, and perhaps that connection has faded and stands no longer. But these residual feelings will still come up, and I can see that they may create some sort of tension in your relationship with this person. I often see this as a card of engagement and marriage because the doves whisk away a crown, which can be symbolic of a ring. I feel like either pressure to get engaged or to get remarried might create burdens or unnecessary pressure in the relationship as well. So it could prove to create challenges with the Lovers card. The Lovers are also very close. Okay, so I think you need to bring in some of that moderation here, and that's not to say you can't enjoy each other's company, but there's something about moderation here, because when there's too much closeness, it can create tension in the relationship. And I think this is coming in the form of when you're too dependent on each other, when you rely on each other, when you're too codependent, there's no room for independence or autonomy in your relationship. And this, of course, can affect number one. Number one is a number of self-identity, self-worth. So it's important to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, Leo, but as well as this person. And I think this could indicate that's where one of you may struggle, but I sense that it might be someone, an ex-lover or an ex-spouse, or someone that might ruffle a few feathers, either come back into the picture, or maybe you're already linked together because you have children or you have assets, or you're just still linked through the community or through mutual friends, and this may create some tension. Could be a wandering eye here as well, or flirtatious bachelor behavior, or something of the kind here. You also have the King of Swords here. Now, in this particular deck, the Owl is here. The Owl is very observant and vigilant. This is attention to detail. He's also very deep in thought here. And I did mention some of the traits of this person, Leo. Now, this could be you if you are an overthinker, if you do observe a lot of things. This could even be possessive jealousy or something of the kind here, because let's look at this, the other side. There's a darker side, okay? There's the darker ravens, the skeleton, the darkness of the wings. There's a darker side to this person or this connection, and it's to do with communication or the way you think or the way this person thinks. I'm seeing insecurities or lack of self-confidence that will actually affect you and your relationship. Something about vigilance or always needing to watch each other. It might be a lack of trust, okay? There could be lack of trust issues coming in. the dark ravens, the fact that the owl has to watch everything that's going on here. Something about trust issues is coming up here, Leo. The King of Swords sees it. He knows what he sees. He can't avoid it because he thinks about it. He's very deep in thought here, perched on this stone step. Now, I think it's to do more with communication, either the way you communicate with each other or the way you think about each other or think about yourselves, that could potentially impact the relationship and create obstacles. Communication, okay? King of Swords represents big issues though. It's not minor, it's major issues or major conversations or major things you need to work on. And I think these major issues will prove to be difficult because the Gemini doesn't always like to commit. In fact, Gemini energy lacks commitment. They might want to commit deep down, but oftentimes they're so deep in thought and overthinking. And, you know, the notion of forever can scare them. And I think what I'm sensing from these cards here, if I look at the obstacles, it's either something to do with long-term commitment, trust issues, or creating a solid foundation. You can work because there is potential here. There's absolute potential to feel an abundance of emotion towards each other, to feel trust, to feel swept up in emotion, to offer each other emotion. It's all there. It's absolutely all there, Leo. But there will be complications, I think, for a lot of you, and it might stem from some of the issues I've just mentioned here. But look, it is a general reading and every relationship will be different. If you'd like a private reading on your connection, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Otherwise, I hope this has given you a little bit of insight and direction, Leo.